When it comes to doing math, it's much harder for me to really see the connections. So visually I had to see it, and I also worked on it with a friend who is also a PR major but was formerly an engineer. So she had just a different way of thinking about it. So a study buddy is a great idea.
The online classes you have to be very disciplined to take, because I know the first one I took, I would always be like, oh, well, I don't have a lecture to go to, I don't have to worry about this until the night before the exam. But then you realize, oh, well, there was assignments due by a specific time. Like, I know I still do it. Like, I'll wait, since I do all my homework on Sundays, I'll wait until Sunday, and then I'm like, oh, I had a discussion forum due on Wednesday. So online, you have to really make sure you pay attention to the syllabus and the dates of stuff when they're due, because you don't have someone there reminding you every single, 3 times a week or twice a week, reminding you on when things are due. So it's more of a discipline factor than just going and sitting in class.
Basically, studying is practicing. So homework is basically you're practicing, and I wouldn't put it off. I would do homework right away, but I would do the homework right away, and then maybe take a break from statistics, and then go for the exams and really study a lot the night before. I like things fresh in my mind.
It's easy for people to forget about the class, but definitely setting different deadlines for myself helped, because I could look at my planner and see oh, I need to have this lab done on Tuesday, and even though I have my quiz on Friday, I'm going to try to do it on Thursday.
I think time management is really important, not only for statistics but also your other classes, because let's say statistics is your hardest subject and you're focusing all your time on that, your other classes will suffer, or vice versa. So making sure that you're keeping up to date with all the assignments and also not falling behind and realizing it too late are very helpful. You wouldn't want to get in a situation where it's past the regular drop-out period and you're like, oh my goodness, I am doing really poorly in statistics. So just making sure that maybe every weekend, spend an hour or two kind of recapping the week if you didn't have time every day during the week to go over the major concepts that were discussed in class.
So a lot of people put off any schoolwork until the night before an exam for this class. You have to do work the whole way through, so you have to make sure you manage your time the whole semester long.
Stats didn't flood me as far as my study schedule. It wasn't overwhelming me, but I had to stay on top of it, and the homeworks is what helped. That was the life preserver, because the homeworks, if you did them well, took your time on them, you do at least half decent on everything else in the class. Everything else seemed to fall into place.
Don't get behind. Make sure that you're on top of your game in the beginning of the class, and you'll definitely do well.
For this class, I think since there is a lot of homeworks, unlike other classes, you have to think more of managing your time than say you do for just an intro psych class.
Definitely don't put things off to the last minute, and really try to just stay organized. I think that's the best thing. Yeah, I definitely think questions help, and I like trying to answer my questions myself. So like I said, I would go in the book and try to answer those questions, but then if I didn't get it then, I would go to the teacher, so I would actually get that extra help, so to get more of an explanation.
Oh, definitely. Asking questions, when you ask questions, it just it allowed her to get back and review it again in a real life example.
Just make sure you ask a lot of questions, even if you have a small doubt. If you keep letting those doubts accumulate, eventually it will be a huge topic that you're missing out on. So just ask questions whenever, even if it's for a tutor or another classmate.
For my stat class, it's actually the only class that I did ask questions for, because it's something that I really did not pick up on right away. But I usually don't. But whenever you do ask questions, you're asking what you don't understand, so you get the response you need, other than waiting for someone else to ask a similar question. It's still not exactly what you are confused on. So asking questions, whether it's in class or the discussion forum in stat, really did help me out.
Yeah, they say there are no stupid questions, but there are stupid questions, but they need to be asked.
Right.
So I would have some silly questions, but I would ask them. Teachers are willing to help. They're never going to turn down a question.
Well, I really looked at the homework and the quizzes as kind of stepping stones to help me study for the exams. So I would say study the best that you can for the quizzes. Make sure that you're getting the correct answers on the homework so that that kind of shows you what you do and do not understand. And if you're having problems with those stepping stones, then it shows you the broader picture of the exam might be a little bit harder. So once you can tackle those minor issues, you'll do well on the exam.
I found the homework to be really challenging. Same thing with the labs. And the way that I tried to approach it was going through my notes, and then specifically like actually having my notes next to my homework so I could go directly back and forth and compare.
For me, I find participating in the class helps me do better, because if I kind of take it passively and expect to do really well on the exam, it usually doesn't happen. So if I can remember an example I gave or that someone else gave, it helps reinforce the material.
I took the homework seriously. I mean, we had a week to do it, and well, actually 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks we had a homework assignment due, and I would take my time and do it thoroughly, and then hand it in, and you always got a decent grade because you take your time with it. And then that was also a good resource along with your notes to go back and review that, because most of the exam material was nothing new. It was just taking it out of the notes. It was just you had to remember how to apply it.
You can ask questions on the course discussion forum that you're not really sure about, and other students can help you explain it in a way that the professor might not have been able to.
Jump right on it. Don't dread it. Don't wait until Friday to get your lab done that is due that night. Really make it a priority, even though it might not be something you want to make a priority, because otherwise you're going to run out of time and you're going to be floundering.
Understanding the material in little small parts, and then when the exam time comes, piecing it all together, if you will. I don't know if that works for everybody, but it worked for me.
If you do the homeworks and take the homework seriously, you're going to be more knowledgeable on the exam questions later on.
Take the class seriously. Don't get freaked out by it, but at the same time, don't underestimate it, because statistics is its own science, and there's an art form to practicing it, so make sure you really appreciate it for what it is.
So right away, so it's fresh in my mind what I learned, I would go and I would take I would do the labs and I would do the quizzes, and I would get high grades on them because that information is fresh in my mind. But I wouldn't skip that at all, because if you do bad on an exam, that helps bump your grade up.